Here's the video about a ballista. Caesar covered his landing in Britain with fire from catapults and ballistas. So it's just like a gigantic crossbow. See there are the arms, there's a taut wire, and a bolt would be placed in here. And the Roman centurions would attack the enemy with that. The trebuchet was another war machine used extensively during the Middle Ages. Here we go. Essentially, it was a seesaw. Weights on the short arm swung the long throwing arm. So we get weights here, say like ballast stones or something, and then there's your arm, and then there's the ordnance sling with projectile. These weapons could be used with telling effect, as the Romans learned from Archimedes in the siege of Syracuse, 214 to 212 BC. As Plutarch relates, Archimedes soon began to play his engines upon the Romans and their ships, and shot stones of such enormous size with so incredible noise and velocity that nothing could stand before them. At length, the Romans were so terrified that if they saw but a rope or a beam projecting over the walls of Syracuse, they cried out that Archimedes was leveling some machines at them and turned their backs and fled. Now, what's interesting is that when the Romans finally took Sicily, the Romans were ordered to seize Archimedes, and then the centurions came across him making circles in the sand in like a geometric pattern or something, and he says to the Romans, "Please don't walk through and mess up my circles." And the Roman centurion got mad and killed him right there. So you can imagine that the Praetorian Guard or the liaison to Caesar heard about that and was pretty pissed. And I think that those centurions were killed by, their commander. Here's a catapult. See, there's that arm, and like a Archimedes screw would be turned and locked, and then with a lever, and then it would go, and this projectile would go like that. Well, I hope you enjoyed this very medieval production, or Archimedes production, on YouTube. Ballista.